This is the real concrete jungle.
Where I'm from, yeah. I'm from a concrete jungle in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
The concrete jungle.
Welcome to the Concrete Jungle Podcast, in-depth artist interviews, where we'll be diving a little deeper with some of your favorite artists from all around the world and introduce you to some dope people you never knew you needed to know. Shout out to Island City Media Group for bringing you the Concrete Jungle every Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. California Fresh Coast, West Coast time. Make sure you guys tap in, download that Dash Radio app. We're streaming live music 24/7, y'all. So check it out, y'all. Tonight, we are welcoming to the Concrete Jungle, a fresh off the block artist, an MC, an actor, a writer, a true advocate for change, being a huge voice for the youth. Just catching a glimpse of this USO story, I was inspired by the genuineness that this USO exemplified. Please welcome to the Concrete Jungle, the USO BIGGS 685. Let's get it, USO!
The Concrete Jungle.
Hey!
Man, what an introduction! What an introduction, bro. Thank you, bro.
I gotta drop my MC skill somewhere along the line.
Oh man, perfect. You 10 out of 10, Oos. 10 out of 10.
Hey, Oos, man. Hey, Oos, how you doing, brother? How's everything going with you, bro?
Man, everything is blessed. What can I say? Way better than last year. You know what I mean? I came back in a way. I feel like a phoenix in a way. You know what I mean? I was down and out, but I found myself. Man, I'm coming back to the light. But everything is happening, you know what I mean? At the same time, I can't complain. I'm so grateful to God, you know what I mean? Like straight up, Uso. Yeah, man, I think, Definitely. Yeah, man, every day now, it's like I wake up with a smile, you know what I mean? Because in my spirit, like I knew it's not defeated anymore. You know what I mean? I wake up with purpose now. I wake up, I see light. So I got purpose, Uso. I'm more than over, like, what's that word? Yeah, man, just to put it all in one word, I'm overwhelmed with joy. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, that's beautiful, brother. You know what I'm saying? I could see the energy, exuding off of you, bro. I see it pouring off you, Uso. So, before we get to all that dope shit, like I like to say in the Concrete Jungle, you know what I mean? Let's take it back to the beginning. And, before, I do want to let you know, Us, congratulations on everything. I appreciate your art. And, it was only a matter of time that we made, our round over here to talk and get some time to really get in depth with you. And I just want to tell you, Uso, off back, I want to give you your flowers, brother, and tell you thank you. Thank you for what you're doing, bro. And, this is why we're doing it. And let's jump into like a true introduction for everyone who might not know who you are, in the Concrete Jungle. Let them know who you are, Uso, who you are, what you're about, and where you from.
All right, man. Well, thank you, Uso. Straight up, man. Straight up. Long story short, BIGGS 685, but my name is Elijah Torvito. I was born in New Zealand, basically raised in Australia, but we didn't stay in one neighborhood. We lived everywhere. My mom basically raised us like gypsies. You know what I mean? We didn't stay anywhere long, and we didn't really blend in. You know what I mean? It was basically we move in, getting ready to move out. You get what I mean? So, growing up like that, I think it's influenced my artistry in a way. I held a lot onto like old movies, old books, old music. That's all we had. So, I mean, growing up, that's all I could look up to. So having a dream and seeing a dream, that's all I had. So people see, how people have their mothers and fathers and they're established and all that. They got companies and stuff. And I didn't have that. You know what I mean? We were so, I could say gutter boys for life. When people hear that, when I say that, I mean, that's the circumstance we came from. We came from the gutter. We made something out of nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad to where we are now. But in terms of how my music came into life, that's always been my therapy. You know what I mean? Without music, I'll be very lost. I have no direction. So, I mean, growing up, I always wanted to be an actor, a rapper. That's all I seen growing up. And that's all I aspired to be. You know what I mean? Also, so, I mean, I put myself in position to learn craft and really stick to it. So when it comes to acting, I look up to Marlon Brando, I look up to Denzel, I look up to Clark Gable, old actors, Yeah. And when it comes to music, people can say, oh, I'm a hip hop head. I'm a hip hop head, no doubt. Look, Wu-Tang. But like, it's deeper than that, I got a love for Cold Crush. People don't know who Cold Crush are. I got a love for, the Treacherous Three. People don't know who the Treacherous Three are. But that's how deep my love for hip hop is, Since I got from Park, West Coast and all that. I just felt it was my responsibility as a rapper to dive deeper into that. And growing up, that's all I had, old school music. So I really always had it in me, you know what I mean? And like, honestly, also, growing up and all of that shit, like bad circumstances, dark days and all that, I mean, the dream was my only light. So the acting, to chase the acting was my only light. To be doing the music, that's my only light. So, I mean, long story short, man, I'm just a USO that's trying to make the best out of the circumstance I was given. And you know what? I'm glad, you know what I mean? Because I never thought I'd be in this position right now, speaking to people outside of the country that I reside in, you know?
Wow, 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 Oos.
Yeah,
I just want to say, man, hats off to you being able to be very transparent and you know, just open about what your message is and just who you are before you know the music, you're putting yourself out there. And a lot of artists don't know how to do that. So I
yep,
appreciate you doing that, Oos. And I wanted to ask you, you know, growing up in those circumstances where life's just like really tough and you're like moving from place to place,
yep.
what keeps you inspired to be looking up towards like aspiring towards like a Clark Gable, a Denzel, a Marlon Brando? How do you stay in that zone, Oos, and creative in those certain, let's be real, and like the
Yeah.
fucked up circumstances? What
That's
was
such a
keeping
beautiful
that
question.
young Biggs going?
Nah, man, that's a beautiful question. I mean, because that's what made me happy. So when I saw those movies, saw those TV shows, hear that music, that's what gave me happiness. You know what I mean? If it wasn't my mom and my sister, us making each other happy, I had that to make me happy. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I wanted to do that. In a way, like I think that's why I aspired to be there, because that's what gave me happiness. That's what gave me peace growing up. So I feel like that's why I wanted to do that, because that was the only way I could be free. So when I was in school, I used to be in these plays. I didn't care if the Usos like around the way would be like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, man. Honestly, if you look at like how I live, it's I'm that kid that like just didn't care. Like I just followed my heart. Like even if I had to fight my way back home for being different, I was willing to do that, because at the end of the day, I knew what I was doing was making me happier than everything around me. So that's why I really hung close to that. Like at Denzel, when I watched Training Day as a kid, yeah, people could say, "Whoa, bro, he was
Lonzo.
like, yeah, you know what I mean? You do this to me? No, man." But I mean,
This
when I
chestnut
saw
checkers.
100%, but when I saw that scene, I was very young. You know, my mom, I still remember that weekend. My mama used the last of her spare money to buy me a couple movies. It was Godfather and Training Day. And those were movies that I begged for a long time. And she
Nice.
bought it. And I remember watching that scene where Denzel loses it at the jungle. And I'm like, yo, mama, that's what I want to do, mom. I want to do that. And you know what I mean? And even when she said, like, when I was little in primary school and all that, she saw, like, you always had it in you. You always did the plays. Son, you can act. I was like, yeah, I can do it, mama. Just watch. So, yeah, man, that's why I
Man,
hung close to that, man. It brought us happiness. It brought us joy. So,
that's
yeah,
what's
man.
up. Do you get the same satisfaction doing music as you do doing film and acting?
Well, I've done more in music than acting, because when acting really, like, I got working hard after my first, like, made, like, big role. And it just went stale for a minute. You know what I mean? There was no opportunities for Pacific Islanders in the TV or film in Australia, which was real sad. And I mean, when you got none of those doors to go to, I felt very depressed after that, because acting was like everything. I was working in school to pay off my acting school. You know, I was doing like full-time hours, like going after school, then go straight to work. I didn't even have time with my family just to pay off them classes, just to get myself in the door. And I did that. And then when it didn't work out the way I had it in my head, I felt very deep. And that's when music came in. So I think music has been my rock, been my sanity ever since, bro. So, and I'm going
Definitely.
back to acting, just letting people know that, like, hey, them screens, bro, I'm gonna bless them real soon. Don't even trip.
That was my next question. So, what have you learned from acting?
Acting, I learned discipline. I mean,
Okay.
I learned discipline in acting, because people, like, there's, I feel like for me, because I'm a trained actor, I'm not like, you know, I went to schools for acting. You know what I mean? So
Talk
think
about
the
that
way
real
I
quick. Oos, how old were you when you went to school for acting?
so it was straight after high school. I graduated high school. That was for my mom, you know. So I wanted to graduate from school for my mom. And then straight after high school, I put myself in an acting school, a drama school, and then we moved again. But then I got accepted to one of the top schools in that state. So Melbourne, the Verb Studios, I want to give a shout out to you guys.
Nice.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for them, like their schools, man, like, yeah, man, I wouldn't have. Yeah, so basically from 17 to the age of 20, I was learning acting. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow,
man,
Oos.
and when I was younger, I thought I was there. I was good. I thought I was good in primary school and high school. And I was like, nah, man, it is everything. You know, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You know, those kind of acting schools. You got to get out of your comfort zone. If they tell you, hey, like I remember this one assessment. They were telling me if the role it requires you to be naked, would you guys do it? And I'm like, what the heck? What? But then this is how it is. That's the world of art. People have to realize you have to bare your soul. So, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Learning the real in and outs of this acting shit, like really gave me like a good perspective of how the shit should work. You know what I mean? So I really give yeah, I got a big respect for old school acting because I feel like those old movies had more natural acting in it. You know what I mean? More
Yeah.
real stories. So
That's
I mean,
definite, man. It crosses the board when it comes to art and creativity. Like that old school always outweighs what's going on.
yeah,
And speaking of old school, bro, is there a certain movie or a role that you wish, like, man, I would have loved to have played that?
woo! There's a lot of them, bro. There is a lot of them. I got a long list.
Any random
Yeah,
one
man.
sticks out?
I mean, if I could pick one, if I shit, it would probably, man. I'll just say it off the bat because this is one of my favorite movies. But if there was one I could be like, it would be that movie Hustle and Flow, DJ.
Yeah. Okay. Why?
Yes. I mean, the only reason why, not just because he's a rapper, but he should like it shows the grim realities of chasing a dream, but you got your feet stuck in the mud. Like, you know what I mean? It's like quick mud. Like every move you make, you just sink deeper and deeper, which the movie portrays that perfectly. But I mean, the drive in it, I mean, that's inspiring. So it's like making something out of nothing. I would love to do a role like that.
Man, dude, that's a classic hip hop movie right there, man. That's one for the culture right there. And man, that's really dope. That's deep with that, man. So okay, so the acting stops around 20, so then the music picks up. So
Right.
is that around the time frame around that when that
Yeah.
happens?
Well,
So
I mean, yeah.
go ahead, Us.
Oh no, man, it is the same time frame because when I was in drama school, I would still bust my freestyle rap. So I was always been rapping. I've always been a flow. But to the point where I took it real serious was when, yeah, like after all the acting stuff, all that stuff, probably from age 22, 23, that's when shit really started like kicking in the door. Like that's when you guys were listening to it. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
when we were like, yo, we're doing something right here. You know what I mean?
that's dope, man. So I'm gonna be real with you, Us. So when I heard your music, Us, and I never seen a visual of it, and I got some music sent to me. We got a lot of music that gets sent to us, and I kept hearing this one song, and then finally I got the file sent to me of that West Side Flow, and it's just off back of what I'm just hearing. Us, I literally thought this was a Uso from down here. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
Cali. You know what I'm saying? Us, and to me it sounded like a raw, real ass, like just a motherfucking, like a bearing his soul new age Tupac. And that's just how I felt when I heard your music. And so, Oos, man, it was only a matter of time, like I said, that we connect. Has the music from the West Coast influenced you somehow?
Man, to the burn. I mean, to the burn. Me and my brother, rest in peace, Ellen, we loved West Coast. We idolized West Coast. So, you know, my love for hip hop started with the West Coast, but I have such a profound love for it. It's not just like LA rap, like, you know, that scene. I got love for the hyphy scene, you know, the Bay Area. That music really touched me as well. So, I mean, I've always had a love for California rap, Chicano rap as well. I love Chicano rap as well. Like I
Oh,
remember,
that's dope, man.
yeah, Kid Frost, like all of that stuff. Like people be like, man, you listen to a lot of hip hop. I go, because I love it. It's something, man. It's peaceful. And California, bro, like honestly, even with us, our people, Booyah Tribe, rest in peace to Godfather, rest in peace to Red.
Hey, definitely great ones
You know
right
what I
there.
mean? To actually know that our people are in there making moves like that and have a presence like that in the industry over there, that was something for us to like always respect and salute. Like, you know, we got our people in the door, you know, people know who SAMOA is. But yeah, man, and I always like people, even when it comes to poly rap, right? I was even in high school, I used to listen to rappers out your ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people could like say like, even with Drew Deezy, we hear Drew Deezy way back in the day as well. Man, forgive me if I forgot any rappers, but honestly, there's a name, there's a list. But the movement out there, I've always had such a profound respect for the Usos out in Cali, because you guys always put it down 100%. You know what I mean? And my love for Cali rap is profound, man. I can't wait to come down to California, you know, see family and really like soak up the California lifestyle.
Definitely,
Yeah.
Us. You'd fit right in, Uso. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And I appreciate your take on West Coast rap. And the fact that you said Chicano rap, bro, that Us, I wanted to say this is what when you were speaking earlier about hip hop, like only a real hip hop head like can say like something from all the way from New Zealand. Like, man, I dig like Kid Frost, Chicano rap, like, bro, that's all the way over here. And I'm gonna be
Yep.
honest with you, bro. Like, not a lot of people from out here listen to Chicano rap. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like, we would have like specific shows like that would just cater to music like that. And I feel
right.
like that's what's emerging from the poly scene. You know,
Yep.
that as much as we want to break into the commercial side, we can't help that we have a huge following amongst ourselves.
Right. We
And I
do.
feel like
Yes.
that's what Chicano rap is, and that's what I feel like the migration is coming when we get the New Zealand artists, the Australian
Yep.
artists making their way over here to the States. You know what I'm
Man.
saying? And touching base on how I wanted to let you know, Oos, that's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop
Yep.
is like defined by just you and your lifestyle, how you're moving and how you're developing off of how you found hip hop. Hip hop is you. And so what you're doing
Yep.
is hip hop. And I love that you said that, Oos, because I haven't
Yep.
connected with anyone like that since, my big Oos. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I talk to my OGs when we talk like hip hop. We throw in like, some KRS-One around, and like we still bumping the old shit.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yes,
So I feel you on that, brother. So
man.
when
Respect.
you make music, Oos,
Yep.
what's in your mind to inspire the crowd? Are you writing for the people? Are you writing from experience? What's the mind
Yep.
state when you're creating?
Yep. Love that question. I mean, it just depends. Yeah. Also, the vibe. I mean, if I'm doing a feature, someone tells me the message that they want to talk about, the concept, I will always do my best to justify that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to my personal stuff, right now, I haven't even dropped the album. I'm just dropping mixtapes. I'm running this mixtape circuit until I feel comfortable. Because the album, I feel like I want to talk about the deepest shit in the album, but I feel like I got so much to talk about before then. So I feel like I'm running the mixtape circuit now. Just I mean, I'm throwing everything in there. I'm throwing my experience, my life, everything that I've been through, my trials and tribulations, and even my mind state. You know what I mean? I think if you listen to my tapes, my mixtapes, you can see there's like a lot of me talking about good versus evil, light versus dark, contrast, contradiction. You know what I mean? All of that. Um, it's just for me to be as honest as I can, because people don't understand. Like, this is therapy. If I don't go studio, also, I'm telling you, I go crazy. I start snapping. So I have to go studio. I have to record. I have to keep making music. And I've lived such a detailed life also that I can speak from that. You know, I have plenty to reach from. I don't have to go out there and reach for things that are not, that I haven't been through, because that's not me. If I wanted to paint a picture, it would have come from my own body and soul, you know?
Definitely. Man, Oos, that's deep right there, brother. And that's
Thank
what I meant by when I was hearing your music. And before I heard your music, Oos, I seen the visuals come out. I was like, I love this shit, man. This is us. I love seeing us up there. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Much love to
yeah,
everybody. Much love to everyone's art and all due respect. But I love seeing
100%.
us. I love seeing us. You know what I'm saying, Oos? And I'm
We
like,
coming
man,
up.
Oos. That's why I said, like, he looked like cousin from down the street, looked like from a nigga from Carson. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that
Straight up.
you stay inspired on that route right there, Oos. So
Thank you.
how has music been going since the whole pandemic and everything?
Ooh, man, it hurts, man, because um we miss the live shows. I miss connecting with the people like that. I'm like, yeah, we
Yeah.
still do shows here and there, but it's like they open up the door, then they shut it again. They open up the door, then they shut it again. And I think it's now we have to reach people in a way that's not organic. You know what I mean? Like we have to reach out online more. Like not saying that this shit is unorganic, but I'm just saying like in a natural way for your fans. Like for me, how I got known out here in West Sydney was me doing live shows. Like my
Yeah.
reputation was spreading because they were like, damn, have you seen this cat? Have you seen this cat live? So that kind of hurts, like, you know, me getting my name out there more because I know I got most of my love from doing live shows because people will see me out here and then next minute, you know what I mean? I see my following, like, you know, just bump up a little. I don't know. And it's good because it gives us more time to go to the booth and create the thing. But then it's like, man, that's one thing. But for me, I find the joy in performing. You know, that's my joy. So if I'm not performing, yeah, I'm clearly bothered by it.
That's a
100%.
that's a high, man, being on a stage, bro. It's a high like no other, man. If ain't nobody ever experienced it, like, you know, like Exhibit says, you know what I'm saying? It's better than sex. If you've ever experienced a live
Hey,
crowd,
hey, I'm telling you,
you know what
for
I'm
me,
saying?
man, sometimes it's like that, bro. You know?
Bro, it's like an adrenaline rush, like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Man,
and
Oos,
you know, and
I
for
want
people to be playing with that, that hurts, man. So, um, yeah, man, I think it's good for like, and it's harder as well with the pandemic because you have to always be wary of your numbers out here. So
yeah.
I know it's hurt people like in how they wanted to shoot videos, how they wanted to get their visuals and stuff across. So it's always, yeah, man, you always have to be on edge with this pandemic when it comes to music. But I mean, in the purse of it, I mean, long as you're happy, that's what matters. But man, my spirit is bothered, bro. You know what I mean?
You're a
I
true
need to get
performer,
out
bro. Like you a true performer, man. Like
house.
straight up, Oos. You know, I wanted to ask Uso, do you feel that the Polynesian artists have a responsibility to represent our people or whatever island culture they from in their
I
music,
mean,
in their music? I mean,
yeah,
not necessarily having to speak it, but like us as Polynesians, do you feel that we have a responsibility to represent us?
well, to be honest, also, if you love saying that you're Samoan, if you love saying that you're Tongan, you love saying that you're Cookie, you love saying that you're Kiribati, you know what I mean? Wherever in the South Pacific you are, I mean, if you love screaming and shouting that out, why wouldn't you represent on record? You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like if we're gonna be prideful people, like for me, it's just like don't be one of them dudes that just like representing on game day. You know what I mean? So
Straight
that's
up.
how I look at it. Because you know, some people like I've been like around people where they uh like it's good to be cultural, but remember who you are. Like I'm seeing a lot of people trying to like emulate like lifestyles that are not us. You know what I mean? Like people that are not us. So for me to stay closer to us, I have to keep looking in the mirror and asking myself, like, I have to keep reminding myself about my ancestors. I have to keep reminding myself about like the boots, the wakas. I have to keep
Mm,
reminding myself that what do I stand for? I have to keep reminding myself that why do I rap? Why am I blessed with this gift? I have to keep reminding myself that this is what I stand because this is it all comes from our people. It all comes from our culture. You know, our heart to perform. Even when it comes to sport, that's gifted from our culture. This is all DNA. So I feel like if you want to represent, if you want to just say, yeah, I'm this and that, but not really put your foot behind it, you know, your bloodline and stuff, then you're a game day person to me. You know, you're just there for the game day. But the ones that really represent and stand by that, man, they know it's their responsibility, but they're proud that they have taken that. You get what I'm saying? It's not like a burden to them. It's not a burden to represent, you know? So for me, it's not a burden to have that responsibility to say, I'm a 6'8" because that's what I am, you know? And even moving, like I said before, moving around like a gypsy, I didn't fit into most of the people I know, peers, they grew up in one area. Me, I had to keep moving, so I couldn't really pick up lingo. I couldn't really pick up the area's history. I couldn't really pick up a town's like, you know, like code and all of that. All I had was my culture. So that's all our mom gave us. So I think being proud and representing that to the birth, of course, man, that's my responsibility, but I wear it on my sleeve so proud. You know, it's not a burden to me. If anything, it's a blessing because now, look at us, man. We're not the biggest populated people in the world. You add all of the South Pacific, Micronesia, Melanesia, Polynesia. We still don't make a dent in the world's population, but our impact, woo, it's worldwide. You know what I mean? So, sorry, Oos, man. That question was real deep to me. Sorry, man. I
had to ask that, Oos, because after listening to some of your research, music, doing some research, I was like, yo, I got to get in depth with this brother right here because what we always hear from the music, there's something deeper behind it. And I wanted to know your take because I'm like, this brother speaks, if you could fill me on this, your voice and your music has a lot of pain. It has a lot of, I feel it, like it grabs me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lyrical person. So I listen to lyrics when I hear music. I always pick the lyrics up off back. And so when I heard your music, I was like, man, this is pretty dope. And to me, this has got to be someone on a real next level type of, you know, creative state to be writing like this. So I just wanted to know because you hit a key point when you said, I don't like seeing lifestyles that's not us. That's not who we come from. That doesn't, you know what I mean? You're representing a lifestyle that's not even us. Like, but you say it respectfully. I get what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But it reminds you of who you got to be and where you come from. You know what I'm saying? And the ancestors, you know what I mean? The ancestors, who's like we saying, it should be known right now. We are the new ancestors right now that are taking stage. So we need to act accordingly, you know? And so I think you hit some really key points, my brother. You know, like, Oos, you are the definition of it's bigger than hip hop because a lot of artists, and I'm telling you, man, out this way, bro, we're running into like 20 artists at every corner. You know what I'm saying? There's like 20 rappers at every Circle K, 30 rappers at every 7-Eleven. You know what I'm saying? So it's refreshing to hear you speak like this, Uso. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Definitely. I also wanted to ask you this also. Now I see you did that. It was like a documentary or a little docu flick that you did, The Story. Now, with that being said, I just want to know first, is that all you put in that whole production story, everything together with that?
Oh no, that's my team. That's my bird. His name, I want to give a shout out to my team, Zerku. Give a shout out to Shaolin Rothschild. My brother Zerku's the one who put the whole story together. He reached out to me, and it was basically meant to be one of those, like, you know, just a pull up, like the little mini docker, like, hey, I'm Biggs, this is my music. But the day he met me, he just asked questions. I was like, whatever you want to ask, I'm open book. But then he was like, yo, are you serious? Because there was a post that was before the story. I talked about it, you know what I mean? Where I was, you know, talking about my uncle, why I looked up to that side of the line, you know what I mean? Because, I was a brainy kid, but I think younger, I didn't use my potential as I should have. You know, I ended up falling into the rabbit hole, you know, that of influence. But with that story, my brother put that together, man. Sorry.
No, that story was dope. And I just wanted to say this, man. I had some goosebumps, bro. There's parts in there I got choked up. And I was watching that and I was just like, wow. Like seriously, I was astonished by your transparency, bro. Like, Uso, I'm gonna say this off back because this is the Concrete Jungle raw, uncut. there are artists who are scared to come on this show. Like they don't want to talk.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's
Yep.
like, how are we ever gonna like progress in life? How are we as a community gonna uplift the next generation? How are we ever gonna
Yep.
have our voice and our own stands anywhere if we just
Yep.
keep shutting the door on ourselves? You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And so I just want to say, man, hats off to you being able to be like that advocate. Now, what obviously, you know, just watching that, for all of you out there who are tapping in with us on the Concrete Jungle, please check out my Uso's little docu-series put on by him and his team, man. It's called The Story, right?
Yep.
So
The
that
story,
one right
Big
there,
685.
man. Bro, I watched that shit like 3 times back. I'm not even playing,
Damn,
man.
bro.
And
I
I'll say
appreciate
this.
you for every watch.
Hey,
Thank
man,
you.
I appreciate you. And I want to be candid and I want to be honest with you. Me not having such a strong relationship with my mom growing up, you know what I'm saying? Mom's was always there, but it was not always the strongest, as you, like you said, you know,
Yep.
growing up, a lot of kids kind of grow up in the same area. They know the same people, you know, you're
Yep.
around the same family members. So I can relate to the fact you bounce around. And what's dope to me is that you stuck to that core essence of family with moms and your sister.
Yep. Yep.
So, man, brother, you know, like as a man right now, growing from that, how has life taught you to be where you at right now? Like, what have you learned from since then? You know,
Man, I mean, I learned a lot about myself. I mean, cause I've learned to actually face everything, man. Cause I held that shit for so long, it nearly killed me, man. And what I've learned is that coming out and speaking about it, now I'm seeing life with clean goggles. You know what I mean? I'm not walking around with that conscience that's I got like that dark spot on my conscience. I got a clear conscience now. You know, I don't harbor any of their pain with that pain, you know what I mean? And what I've learned is that my mama and my sis, man, without them, I would not be the also big 685. You know what I mean?
wow,
The people
man.
that, yeah, because if you come out here with Sydney also, not just, I'm not that dude to blow my own trumpet, but you know, there's a lot of people that always reach out to me and say, genuine, humble, humility, vibes, you know, like me, I'm a brutally honest person. Like if I call a spade, but my spirit is always humble. My spirit is always on a high frequency, and I owe a lot of that to my mother and my sister, you know. So, and I wasn't easy. I'll be real honest, also. I was not a real easy person to deal with, a son or brother to deal with. You know, they'll put them through a lot of pain, but you know, their love for me has really made me a better person also, because now I know, like, you know, the power of what I do. You know, if I hurt one aspect of my family or my friends, it affects everything around it. So I've learned to deal with life in the best way I can, because life was so much better this way. You know what I mean? Also, it's
Yeah.
like if you stay in the dark and you just want to be negative and you just want to be like, just blame, just be mad and bitter, man, it's very miserable life. And I've been there, you know what I mean? I've been into those, it's though the best, I'll say the best years of my life is taken away from me just because you know what I mean? I was scared to face it. But now that, you know, it's better late, it's better now than never. But you know what I mean? That's what I'm learning also. I'm learning to live. I'm learning to live.
Oh man, that's beautiful, Oos. That's what healing looks like, my brother. You know,
Man, thank
and
you.
that's just beautiful right there, Oos. What would you say? You know, you mentioned in that documentary that you were a pretty angry teenager, or you know, a youngin. What
Yep.
would you say to that teenage Biggs that was so angry back in the day? If you could say
Man,
something to him.
I'll just be like, man, keep your head up, Bruce. You have no idea what you're capable of. You have no idea of your greatness. You have no idea of the power you possess. Life happens for you, man. I wish I told myself that, man. I wish I was more fair to myself, more kind to myself. You know, I wish I respected myself more, you know. Yeah, man. And yeah, that's what I could say to young Biggs now. Yeah.
Man, Oos, that's dope, Oos, man. Like, you are literally like beyond an artist to me. You know what I'm saying, Oos? I really
Yeah.
think you have a purpose with just speaking like and advocating for like just people and just seriously, you have a strong presence. And like, you know, my family come from that witch doctor stuff. And whether I like it or not, I feel energy. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, Uso, like, do this whole Zoom, Uso, I'm feeling like crazy energy. Uso, I've been having goosebumps this whole time we're talking. You know what I'm saying? And so,
I
to me,
appreciate
like, you know, you remind me a lot of a younger me. You know what I'm saying?
man.
Like bouncing around through adversities and like really just
Yeah.
maintaining your creative spirit throughout it all.
Man, look
You
at
know?
you now. Look at you, man. I could just tell just by conversating with you. Also, I feel the depth. I feel the love, man. I see. I could just hear the humility, and I know that you've been through a lot too. So I just want to say, man, thank you, because it's this. Not every day I talk to Usos like this. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you, Uso. Man, that's just off top solid. Thank you, brother. Man, seriously, and that's why we do this. This is the point of Concrete Jungle, Uso. We want to make sure that beyond the music, we're touching base with the artists out there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, give us, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to hold you too long. I know you're a busy man, but like,
Oh, man, you got all
give
the
us
time. Honestly, you
definitely,
got all
Us.
the time.
Give us or like describe your musical art to a new listener who's just discovering you.
Woo. Damn, how can I explain my music? Damn, man, I think it's, if you want to open your mind, listen to me. If you want to see, if you want to think, listen to me. If you want to feel some old school shit, listen to me. Yeah, man, I feel like if I was to pitch my music to just somebody, hey, if you love the 90s, if you love the 80s, I'm the perfect dude for you. You know what I mean? Not just because, I mean, not just because of my sound, but I feel like the messages that were rapped back then as well, I feel like I kind of displayed that in my music as well. Very, not concentrated on the bars, but more concentrated on the actual action. Like, you know what I mean? Like, live the life, the living, you know what I mean? All of that. So I think that's what I'll say.
Man, Oos, we're definitely gonna keep the Concrete Jungle plugged on everything you got going, Uso. Where are you residing nowadays, brother?
Yeah, let's go. No, man, that makes my day, so I appreciate that, man.
Nah, we live and direct, brother. And I want everyone to know, how can we get a hold of the music? Plug us up, contacts, and all that right now, Uso. Plug us up for the Concrete Jungle, bro.
Cool, man. So basically, world, you want to reach out. Basically, all you have to do is just hit your Google up, BIGGS 685, and everything about me, everything that you want from me, everything that you can see about me is right there. My music, if you want to go on Spotify, Apple, all of that, all your streaming outlets, same thing, Big 685, YouTube, Big 685. Yeah, man, anything about me, Big 685, even on Instagram, Big 685. And just letting everybody know, I do personally run my own Instagram, so you're not talking to a robot or a person on my team, you're talking to actually me. So everyone laying their orders, I can see some people laying their orders like, am I actually talking to Biggs, or you know what I mean? Is this real? I go, yes, it is. So yeah, man, I earn my own thing. So Blackbird Entertainment, so that's connected to me as well. So yeah, everything Big 685, basically. That's the easiest way.
So, what's coming up in the future? Well, what can we expect from Biggs, brother?
We got so much coming in the future. I don't know where to start, Roos. I'm very excited. I got 2 projects coming out. So we got Big Tape 3 to be announced very soon. It's going to be up at the stores out in Sydney that I've already put my CDs in. Anybody out there worldwide, you want to order it, hit me up, same thing. I want to give a shout out to the Usos and Kelly that brought my CD too. Shout out to you guys. Big love. And yeah, man, they got us. I appreciate them jamming us. But yeah, man, Big Tape 3 is coming out. And then Big Tape 4, the last of the Big Tape series, is going to drop New Year. So we got 2 mixtapes in the space of basically 6 months dropping. There's gonna be a short film coming out soon. there's gonna be some acting stuff coming out very soon. I want people to keep their eyes peeled to, you'll be seeing my face in a lot of different elements, man. I'll be caught at some, man, there's gonna be some purchase out here, so you can catch me at the 421 as well, so legalize.
yeah, man.
I'm all out there, man. Honestly, so I just, honestly, just trying to, whatever I got passion or I got love for, I'll be involved with it. But there's a lot to come out soon. Basically, if you follow me on all my onlines and all that, I'll basically keep you posted, bro.
Definitely. And we're going to keep you posted on everything. And everybody out there in the Concrete Jungle, we're going to plug up the USO. We're going to make sure that he's available not only to the Concrete Jungle, but through Island City Media Group, Us. So we're going to plug you up, Us. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say, Uso, thank you for everything, brother. Before I do let you go, Uso, any shout outs you want to make right now?
Oh, yeah. Yes, please. I want to give a shout out to For the Ville, the Big Brothers Big Bass.
Yeah.
You already know. It's Big Bass, Poetic. I want to give a shout out to the For the Ville family.
Uso, Poetic.
I want to give a shout out to all my families in Melbourne, all my family worldwide. I want to give a shout out to all the movements, all my Usos out on the East Coast of Australia. Brisbane, Burn City, if you're family to me, I've got a love for you. This is a shout out to you. Shout out to all my fans that bought my CD personally, coming out, connecting, everyone reaching out and giving me love. Like, I want to give a shout out to each and every one of you. You guys really fuel the engine. So, man, it's worldwide love. That's all I want to say, bro.
Man, we want to shout you out, brother. And we just want to say, Ooze, you always got a home here in the Concrete Jungle, brother. You know what I'm saying, Ooze? We family, brother. You know what I mean? So I can't wait till you come out here to Cali. Can't wait till all this pandemic shit clear up so we can get back to normal shit.
You already know
what I'm saying, Ooze? But
that's
like
awesome.
Definitely, Ooze. Can't wait to meet you in person, brother, and shake your hand and just hand you a blunt.
Definitely be doing that.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta treat you to some Cali Kush, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, I heard you guys got the best.
Oh, bro. You know what I mean? It's better done in person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Oos, man, I just want to say thank you so much, man. And like I said from the beginning, and usually I give these artists their flowers at the end because I'm like, let me feel these motherfuckers out. But I was like, I said off the back, and this is why I said it from the beginning. Let me give you your flowers, my Oos. I have never come across a USO I have never met personally or through any kind of transaction through like Zoom or this way where I felt your genuine heart, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I said, like, man, I got to talk to this. I got to talk to my bro right here, And I just want to say thank you, Us. I really appreciate you, Uso. Anything you need out here at the Concrete Jungle, we can help you push that music, that message, and that movement that you got going on for us, Us. I see you, brother. I see me. So I just want to say thank you, Uso, and thank you for, tapping in with us, yo, and everybody out there, y'all. This is your Uso devotion. That's right, y'all. It is the Concrete Jungle, chilling with my Uso, Biggs, 685. Let's get it.
Big love, Concrete Jungle
artist. Yeah.
Thank you, Concrete Jungle. Thank you, Concrete Jungle. Stay blessed. What up, baby? It's the Big 685. West Sydney's up in the house. Omar Baru Lima. I'm kicking it on Concrete Jungle with my Uso devotion. Let's go.
The Concrete Jungle.